Master of Common Sense Living. I just received this article on my email today and decided I just couldn't wait to post this. It's healthy food bombs you must avoid. And it's basically the way our profit over quality of food comes into play. So it's table of contents here is the billion-dollar health and diet industry. Advertisers are allowed to lie. Common tricks advertisers use, healthy foods with hidden sugars, alternative sweeteners to watch for, and then the conclusion. And I may as well say it, oops, right now. I haven't even read this, so bear with me as I do. Let me see, the conclusion. Let me see, I wanted to say the credits. Resources are the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Well, Department of Agriculture, the United States Department of Agriculture. And then there's a couple of more private ones in here that I don't think it really matters that much because it comes from two legit sources anyway. So with that, I am going to read again. So the introduction. Here are some pretty startling facts about the state of health of many Americans, according to the CDC website. More than 1/3, 36.5% of the U.S. adults are obese. Obesity-related conditions, including heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and certain types of cancer, are some of the leading causes of preventable death in this country. There's more. About 75 million American adults, 32%, have high blood pressure. That's 1 in every 3 adults. About 1 in 3 American adults has prehypertension, blood pressure numbers that are higher than normal, but not yet in the high blood pressure range. Now, what do all of these health conditions have in common? One of the first things many health experts will tell you is they can be prevented, controlled, and even reversed by cleaning up the diet and switching to healthy foods. And this is where the confusion starts. You see, many people think they're switching to healthier foods, but then their health doesn't seem to improve. In fact, in some cases, it even gets worse. That's because many, and I mean many, packaged foods that claim to be healthy are anything but. In fact, you'll be shocked to discover just how much hidden sugar is in many of your favorite healthy snacks and meals. In this report, you will discover why even the best-selling health foods are laden with dangerously high levels of sugar, how the scammy health and diet industry tricks you, vitamin water, energy drinks, and nutrition bars, good for you? Not so fast, beware of hidden sugars. Why you can't trust advertising or packaging claims, how you can be a smarter consumer, and more. Are you ready to get started? I'll warn you, it's not nice what you're about to read, but the more educated you are, the healthier you and your family will be. I'll see you in the next section. There's a little blurb up here that says high blood pressure. About 75 million American adults, 32% have high blood pressure. That's 1 in every 3 adults. And prehypertension, about 1 in 3 American adults have prehypertension, blood pressure numbers that are higher than normal, but not yet in the high blood pressure range. Okay, so here's the title of it, backwards, isn't it? Oh, well, the billion-dollar health and diet industry. Americans spend billions on health and diet products every year. From DVDs to meal plans and supplements, we go to great lengths to get in shape and be healthy. But how many of these products we purchase really offer what they claim? It is quite common for rational adults to be duped by shady marketing and half-truth statements made by many advertisers and food manufacturers. Selling health is very lucrative because every human being wants it. And even if a product isn't all that healthy, as long as it is made to seem like it is, a food manufacturer stands to make a fortune. The food industry thrives on confusion. Who among us can keep up with all the conflicting statements from health experts? One day eggs are bad for you, the next day they're not. One day coffee is a no-no, the next day it's not. But the next day it's a no-no again. It also gets very confusing when food company that is synonymous with unhealthy food suddenly launches healthy foods. For example, Coca-Cola's vitamin water. which we will talk about later, is not as healthy as you might think, and the Coca-Cola Beverage Institute for Health and Wellness seems to many to be no more than a PR stunt in response to the many and justified criticisms of the role of food and beverage companies in the obesity epidemic. But it doesn't stop with Coca-Cola pushing their healthier options on the public. The Gatorade Sports Science Institute has papers explaining why Gatorade is better than water for exercise. While Gatorade does offer important electrolytes, a 12-ounce serving of their thirst quencher contains 21 grams of sugar. So no, this isn't a healthier option than water, and Gatorade knows it. But the public doesn't. We're far too trusting for the marketing ploys. The advertisers are allowed to lie. Most of us are so trusting of manufacturers and advertisers, most likely because we assume they legally aren't allowed to lie. If the packaging says all natural, then surely all the ingredients must be natural. Then while we may all assume that advertisers embellish things a bit, kind of like how many of us embellish our resumes, we'll also assume that basic facts have to be true. But multiple companies have made the argument in court that not only do their ads not have to be factual, but only an idiot would think they were. Shows how much many companies think of the consumers who are buying their products. Now remember, Coca-Cola's vitamin water I mentioned a little while ago? Their advertising promised that it would boost your immune system and help fight free radicals. It wasn't long before someone pointed out that vitamin water was effectively nothing more than sugar water, akin to a pig in a dress. No matter how pretty the dress, it's still a pig. Coke responded that they were completely shocked that anyone thought their drink was healthy, or in their exact words, no consumer could reasonably be misled into thinking that vitamin water is a healthy beverage. I'll leave it to my printer to entertain us with some racket. Remember when Apple was advertising their iPhone 3G as twice as fast, half the price? That was their ad word for word. Pretty straightforward and hard to be confused as to the claims they were making. However, when a concerned citizen had the audacity to point out that their entire ad, each word of it, was a blatant lie, Apple took a similar position in court as Coca-Cola. Apple's legal team stated no reasonable person in the plaintiff's position could have reasonably relied on or misunderstood Apple's statements as claims of fact. If you only take one message from this report, let it be this one. Advertising lies are designed to mislead us. So here's some common tricks that advertisers use. Reduced sugar. We all know sugar is unhealthy, and so you can bet food manufacturers are going to capitalize on the fact we're all trying to eat less of it. You've probably seen packaging that says reduce sugar or less sugar. If you're trying to cut down on sugar, you're most likely going to choose this product over the product that doesn't claim to have less sugar. If you read the label, and you absolutely should, you will find one of two things. Yes, there is less sugar, but the amount taken out is minuscule, and there is still far too much sugar in the product. Or you'll see they've replaced sugar with an artificial sweetener that comes with its own nasty side effects. Zero trans fat. The next time you see a food item that claims to have zero trans fat, turn it around and look at the ingredients. You will often find that the product has hydrogenated oil listed as an ingredient. You may not be able to tell if it's partially or fully hydrogenated, and that doesn't really matter because the main point is that it is not a natural fat. Here's what you need to know based on the FDA regulations. If the product has less than 0.5 grams of any fat per serving, they are allowed to list it as 0 grams. If that sounds misleading, it is. This food advertising trick is common in more products than you might imagine, so start reading those labels. Now that you realize the warfare that is being perpetrated on you each time you innocently push your shopping cart down the aisle, let's take a look at some of the most common tricks advertisers will use to get you to believe their food is healthy. I mentioned two of them. Now we're going to go on to contains antioxidants. I don't know about you, but just because a soda, we're talking to you, Cherry 7-Up, claims to have antioxidants, it doesn't feel entirely natural or beneficial to me to drink a 6-pack of it and hope that I stay younger and healthier. This is a classic trick. Instead of getting rid of an unhealthy item like the astounding 38 grams of sugar in each can, Cherry 7-Up simply sprinkled in a little bit of something good so you'll think their beverage is healthy. If I tossed a life preserver into a tank full of white sharks, would you dive in? Then buying organic foods can be a good thing. Obviously, if you have the option of buying a regular apple, which has been exposed to pesticides and herbicides, or an organic apple, which has not, you want to buy the organic apple. The problem is many food manufacturers will use the word organic generically as if to insulate every ingredient, insinuate every ingredient has been grown organically. Or they'll spell it out and say raw organic cane sugar to make sugar sound healthy. But it's just sugar and will affect your body and health in exactly the same way as non-organic table sugar. Just because something is organic does not mean that it's healthy. And also with that, talking about the apple, our dear friend, Bill Gates, has the word appeal. It's a coating on our fruits and vegetables that doesn't come off, but it keeps it fresh. So just so you know, you're eating a nasty chemical there too, and giving him a nice bankroll. Are you or someone you know dealing with blood sugar issues like diabetes? You can lower, even reverse these issues. I lowered my A1C from 5.9 to 4.9 in just 6 weeks. My doctor was impressed. I'm a nurse, certified health coach, and educator. Gift yourself another with this course, Taming Diabetes Differently. Change your life and theirs. Contact Ann Master at tamingdiabetes@yahoo.com or call 972-948-9976 and be sure to leave a message. Bankroll. So here we go, heart healthy. What a great gimmick to use, because who among us doesn't want a healthy heart? Now, usually a company will make this bold claim when they have swapped out sugar for sugar substitute. The logic being, if there is no sugar in the product, you'll lose weight, and weight loss is great for the heart. Go ahead and read the label, and you're apt to find artificial sweeteners like maltodextrin, which is basically glucose, and one of the highest glycemic processed substances out there in the ingredients list. Sure, maltodextrin is not regular white sugar, but it's easily digestible, so when you eat it, it's absorbed incredibly quickly into your bloodstream, spiking your blood glucose levels and causing the pancreas to release a surge of insulin. In case you don't know exactly what insulin does, it's a fat storage hormone. The more insulin circulating around your blood, the more your body is told to store fat. How is that supposed to help someone lose weight and have a healthy heart? It sounds more like a food product that will give you diabetes. Interesting, isn't it? And there's a lot more I can tell you about that. Naturally sweetened. Not only does Coca-Cola's vitamin water have vitamins, but hey, it's also naturally sweetened. Unfortunately, they use stevia extract to sweeten their product. Many food manufacturers love stevia because it comes from the stevia leaf, and hey, leaves are natural. No? Well, unless you're eating the stevia leaf whole, there is nothing natural about this sweetener. Coca-Cola lists out its 42-step process for deriving the Ribena stevia extract from the stevia leaf. The steps include the uses of methanol, ethanol, isopropanol, and many other chemicals. Having to use multiple chemicals to extract your ingredient doesn't sound natural to me. And stevia is 300 times sweeter than sugar. I used to have a stevia bush in my yard. Whole grains. This is pretty much the same trick as the antioxidants, only using another beneficial item to trick you into thinking a food product is healthy. Cereals are a perfect example of this. The front of the box might say something like more whole grain than any other ingredient. Okay, you know what to do. Turn that box around and look at the ingredients. Most likely you will find that something like whole grain corn is indeed listed on the first ingredient. Now keep in mind that ingredients are listed in order of weight from highest to lowest. So let's continue reading. What is the second ingredient? Sugar. The third, cornmeal. Fourth, high fructose corn syrup, followed by a string of chemical ingredients you may or may not be able to pronounce. General Mills Trix cereal advertises more whole grains. Do you think that cereal is healthy for you and your kids? Huh. I believe it's multicolored, isn't it? So there you have artificial colors, artificial sweeteners, and unhealthy kids. Fruit flavored. Has your child or grandchild ever asked you to buy those frozen fruit pops? You know, the ones you push up through the long plastic package and are usually bright orange, purple, and yellow. Kids will usually try it and sway you into doing what they want by saying something like, but hey, it's got fruit. No, they don't. They simply have fruit flavoring and probably artificial. But just because something is orange flavored, like vitamin water, doesn't mean there's an actual orange in there. Any sweetness you taste is coming from sugar or a sugar substitute, and that orange has been created from chemicals, period. Okay, now we have a whole list of healthy foods with hidden sugars. Now let's take a look at the top. Healthy foods that are loaded with hidden sugars. Granola cereals and bars. Somewhere at some time, a myth was created. The myth that says granola isn't like regular cereal. It's good for you. Nope. It's delicious, I'll give you that. And it's really crunchy, but granola-based cereals have up to 15 grams of refined sugar in it, less than 1 cup. That's just, that's like eating 3 teaspoons of sugar. And don't get me started on granola bars. This is one of the go-to healthy snacks of many people who toss them into their book bag, purse, or gym bag. But granola bars can have up to 25 grams of sugar in a small bar, which is equal to the amount of sugar in a Hershey bar. Read that again. A granola bar can have just as much sugar as a candy bar. At least the candy bar is honest about what it is. Then we have barbecue and other sauces. Barbecue sauce, teriyaki, and jerk sauces are easy ways to add flavor to meats, but in many cases, added sugar can account for a whopping 80% of the calories. Again, read the label on any barbecue sauce and you're apt to read or to see as much as 12 grams of sugar per serving. That's the same as 3 teaspoons worth of sugar. Then your healthy salad with salad dressings. Most store-bought salad dressings have roughly 10 grams of sugar per 2 tablespoons serving. That's more than 4 times the recommended allowance of about 2 grams per 2 tablespoons serving. And then yogurt. All yogurt contains sugar in the form of lactose, which is milk sugar, and what some individuals are sensitive to. The problem with most yogurts is the added sugar that often comes in the form of high fructose corn syrup. Many fruit yogurts that have as much as 30 grams, 6 teaspoons of sugar per serving. That's as much as many cans of soda. Then fruit juice. It's easy to assume fruit juice is just the liquid that has been squeezed from the fruit, but often fruit juices are made from fruit concentrates, which, yes, contain fruit, but usually added sugar as well. Fruit juices can have anywhere between 20 to 30 grams of added sugar per cup. 20 to 30 grams of added sugar per cup. The best thing to do is read the label first and look for 100% juice unsweetened, which has no added sugar. Oh, and the ease of frozen meals. Here is something important to understand. It is not only sweet tasting foods that have hidden sugars. In fact, it is savory foods that have the real hidden sugars because they don't taste sweet. So how would you know to even look for them? While a frozen dinner may have meat, potatoes, veggies, or rice, many contain as much as 30 to 40 grams per serving of added sugar. Read those labels carefully, no matter if you are buying a sweet or a savory item. Oh, then we have canned fruit. This is another common instance where people think they are making a healthier choice, but really aren't. Most canned fruit is packed in sugary syrup, which is really calorie-laden, high fructose corn syrup. 1 cup of canned fruit can have as many as 30 grams or more of sugar. That's the equivalent of 7 Oreo cookies. It's always better to eat a piece of whole fruit, but if you're going to buy the canned version, only buy those packed in water or natural juice. Okay, we have alternative sweeteners to watch for. Hidden sugars are called hidden for a reason. Many times added sugars go by different names, and you may very well not recognize them to be sugars. There are also a few healthier sugars to watch for, including coconut palm sugar, honey, and blackstrap molasses. While they are far less processed, they should only be eaten in moderation, as they can still spike blood sugar. According to the USDA, alternative sugar ingredients or names to watch out for when reading labels include corn syrup or high fructose corn syrup. And may I just throw this in? Corn syrup from genetically modified corn. So that means the food has been manipulated before you even eat it. And your body doesn't know how to handle fake foods. Dextro, crystal, or dextrose, fructose, maltose, lactose, sucrose, glucose, evaporated cane juice or fruit juice, caramel, carob syrup, brown sugar, raw sugar, dextrin and maltodextrin, rice syrup, molasses, evaporated corn sweetener. Once again, there's your genetically modified corn, confectioner's powdered sugar, agave nectar, other fruit nectars, for example, pear nectar. So, in conclusion, how are you feeling about right now? Shocked? Angry? You should be. You may also feel concerned and a bit scared, but you don't have to feel this way. You can take control of your own health by becoming a smart consumer, and here's how you begin. Empower yourself by learning a bit about basic nutrition. The Primal blog is a great resource for you to find helpful and accurate information, as well as mine. It's not a blog, but it's tamingdiabetes@yahoo.com. Read labels. If there was one theme in this report, it was to turn that potentially untruthful packaging around and dig for the truth yourself. Don't trust anything you are told by advertisers. Read the labels yourself. Use common sense. Most of us at this point in time know how to eat healthy. Don't eat processed foods. Eat like our ancestors did. Eat whole foods, focusing on generous amounts of vegetables and fruits, lean meats, eggs, and healthy fats like nuts and nut butters, olive oil, and avocados. I'm sorry, I just can't read right from this. I see eggs and I think about all the people that eat just the egg whites because they want to be healthier. Now, where is the nucleus for the baby chicken? But in the egg yolk. Doesn't it stand to reason then that the egg yolk would have more nutrients than egg white? And if you eat one part, I mean, the egg is made, you crack the egg and you have white and you have a yolk. So shouldn't they stay together? I think that's an interesting concept. Certainly does for me. So eat more generous amounts of vegetables and fruits, lean meats, eggs, and healthy fats like nuts and nut butters, olive oil, and avocados. And please, please, please have things be organic. Cook more. Make your own sauces and salad dressings so you can control the amount of sugar you consume at each meal. Balance your life using moderation. Yes, you can have ice cream and pizza, but only in moderation. Allow yourself 1 or 2 cheat days each month to have unhealthy foods. You may find that after eating healthily for so long that you no longer crave garbage, and that's exactly what processed food is, garbage. Sugar isn't going anywhere. They may come up with a different form and a different name, but it will always be around. And advertisers aren't going to suddenly wake up tomorrow and decide to be 100% honest in their marketing. It's up to all of us to be our own advocates. So be smart, think critically, and never trust what you hear or read concerning a food item. Do some investigation for yourself to uncover the truth. And once again, I state Centers for Disease Control and Prevention at cdc.gov/obesity/data/adult.html. And then there's the United States Department of Agriculture, that HTTPS www.nal.usda.gov/FNIC/nutritive and non-nutritive sweetener resources. Oh, that's a mouthful. Or how about you just email me at Common Sense, yes. Common Sense Living is my podcast. Email me at tamingdiabetes@yahoo.com, and we can get started on a dialogue about the healthy foods to eat. I'm a nurse. I'm a certified health coach. I'm a speaker, educator. I want to help you to take control of your life. And I invite you to sign up for my Taming Diabetes course, actually. It's a 3-month course, and I have it on sale right now till the end of the year as my Good or Black Friday sale. And for 3 months, it's only $300. And after the 1st of January, it's going to go up. I have 5 more spots available, and class starts on January 10th. So sign up contact me at tamingdiabetes@yahoo.com and leave your contact information, and we can have a dialogue as to whether or not you qualify for the program. And I guess that's it for now. Good health to you. Have a great Christmas coming up soon, and talk to you soon. All right, toodaloo. Thank you for tuning in to my Common Sense Living podcast today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm sure you learned something new. Please leave a kind review and share this episode with a friend. And be sure to subscribe yourself. You'll find me on iTunes, Spotify, and other platforms. And don't forget, we'll be here again next week with another insightful episode of Common Sense Living. I can hardly wait.